A miniature, propulsive omnibus cluster bomb of painfully riotous daymares, all dripping with the blue and orange goo of dream logic. A series of loosely connected emotional parables about the stories within tales that crawled out of the deepest caverns of your unconscious mind and became lovingly animated in breath-slapping stop motion. In other words, it is the truth.
Once finally dreaming, we look up to find our gaze glued to the sky blue hue that lies in the eyes of the blind girl at Shivering Middle School. Ostracized due to her optical mishappenstance, whenever a child snaps her bra straps, Principal Gail Olanka makes everyone line up to snap her back until she can identify who hurt her. The continuous snaps form a gigantic welt representing the invisibility of her abuse and the price of justice the lunch lady is happy to shave down. As we search forward towards the truth, we observe a soul whose name is Delmer Gibbons. Lost, wandering through existence, trying to expand his capacity for life by saving it. He tests his hand in the pre-death industry, but fails, so he takes a stab at it himself. He surrenders to eternity, suspended in animation, waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for a chance to do his job, waiting for the chance to stop waiting. The phone rings, and with childish enthusiasm and chaotic electricity, he tries to fulfill his destiny, as the man on the other end of the line is at the end of his line. But what kind of noose is this? We learn that our suicidal fellow, falling infinitely, wants to finally find the void. A chance of release, rest, and possible reset from the sweet kiss of death. But at the end of this tunnel of attempt, he finds answers. Answers that could solve his conscious grievances, but not stop the swell of tears his subconscious aches when it can no longer see. He uses this money to buy an expensive noose. To die with luxury. As he says goodbye to his last breaths, two girls trapped in bondage crash into his life, bringing him enough health and wealth for a lifetime. He uses this gain to obtain a poison strong enough to kill uncertainty itself. We see that he is blind. He learns from doctors that his blood is actually the cure for cancer. His eyes start to open to the world, and as he's falling to it, he lands on the murderer responsible for kidnapping those girls. The truth reveals itself in the return of his vision, that at each attempt to die, the universe provided an answer. Value. Understanding this value gave him a purpose, a certified cosmic reasoning to exist. His soul finally understood that the knot around his neck isn't a noose, it's a loop. The government notices this supernatural pattern and enlists him to keep attempting suicide for all the benefits it brings to the world. But this knowledge gives him a reason to live, and he can't bring himself to try again. Delmer is upset by the news of self-discovery. Noticing that our friend only needed to vent and was no longer on the brink of crisis, he felt betrayed at the missed opportunity to do his job. So, for encouragement, he shares a little story about a suicidal man who decides to write a novel of a death note that spans an entire lifetime, thus almost by paradox keeping him from killing himself. He becomes famous, finding a way to live and now lacking the constitution for suicide. People become upset when he doesn't abide by the rules of his own literature, to ultimately show how no one truly cared. That No one cares. This affirmation swayed our friend to shoot himself and shows us the truth of why Delmer Gibbons never made it in the suicide business. We travel deeper to understand that we are all existing in a constant state of creation and destruction. These chaotic forces permeate throughout ourselves and nature like water cutting through stone. Dr. Derek Highbury spent his life trying to understand the nature of chaos to explain the universe, and how some beings can control this force to guide reality itself to a desired outcome. Like how a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a hurricane in Bali. Until he uncovers the truth that all butterflies hate Bali. Dr. Highbury decrypted the sacred knowledge gifted to the butterflies to bend the universe to his most base desires. From sexual fulfillment to even killing God. After his every wish and lust was satiated, he realized that the one thing he wants, no amount of money could buy. Genuine love. And on that very recognition, the butterflies see his needs and leave him, grasping only on to possibilities, unless he does what they want. Dr. Highbury creates a Trojan husk the butterflies will use to assimilate into Balinese culture, until they are in a position strong enough to destroy it from within, finally gaining retribution for the genocide of their kind. But as all love is, when he saw the sun touch the face of the Balinese maiden, he felt the totality of his mission and existence in his stomach, becoming greater than the sum of his parts. Eventually abandoning the mission to fall gracefully with her, she opens up to him, to reveal the truth that she is also a corpse filled with bees. Sent to show butterflies what Dr. Highbury could never see, that the nature of the universe is chaos, and the only way to observe it, or to wield it, is to respect it. This is definitely my favorite episode of The Shivering Truth, as it has some of the strongest stories of the series and perfectly fits that uncanny beauty the show is known for. Their art direction in some scenes are incredibly surreal and haunting, and they have such a clever use of color theory. Structurally, when trying to find the connections between parables, if you pay attention, you see little visual cues and symbols that lead you to the next place. Without conscious thought, you are there, disregarding questions like how you got there or even what you were doing. It's this hazy feeling of being lucid enough to understand the strangeness of things, while still gaining core insight from witnessing these events that encapsulates what dream logic is, perfectly. I have always found media that speaks to your subconscious incredibly fascinating. To know that situations, symbols, and numbers hold a meaning to them that the core of our being understands. It means that there is a secret knowledge to the way that things are. And I'm so glad a show like this exists that uses dreams to dig deeper into the infinite confusion to maybe find a shivering truth to it all. Thank you all for watching. I apologize it has been so long since an upload, but with everything happening in the world, I needed a break to experience this. But your support has been phenomenal and unexpected. I love you all, and until next time, I've been your host, Cinema Ghost.